Welcome back, everybody. Wednesday morning show off and rolling. Getting ready for another football weekend on tap. Got some big ones coming, including two powers in southeastern North Dakota set to meet on Friday night. North Dakota 9-man football. Unbeaten Hankinson will take on unbeaten LaMoure, Litchfield, Marion. Those two, there's nothing need to be said when they get ready to be played, especially when they take on some unbeaten records. It's great to have one of our friends of the show, Hankinson head football coach Jason Monilaws, joins us here to get us ready for the game on Friday. He's going to hate me for asking off the top because big news, he picked up his 100th career win on Friday night. First off, congratulations. That's awesome. Tell me about win number one. What do you remember about the first win?
Oh, Lord. That was 20 years ago. We would have been 11 man, and we would have been in a co-op with Fairmont Campbell Tinta. And I don't remember who we played, but I know we won the first game because we had a very good team. I think it was Castleton.
Is that right?
I feel like we were up at Central Cass. And we played them our first year and then our second year because of the alignment. And so I can brag like I'm 2-0 in my alma mater. I don't know if that means anything, but I guess it does to me somewhat. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the first game was at Castleton.
Wow. How special was this to get it? I know you had posted on social media, your son had put up the number of wins on your class door. To get 100 is a special deal.
Well, okay, I'm dumb. Here's the whole story behind that door. I came up to the school. I think it was a Tuesday or Wednesday before we went up to Enderlin, and I looked at my door and I said, "Well, that's neat. I wonder who did that." And I looked at the number 98. Well, that's a weird number. Okay, it didn't dawn on me. So then my son was coming down the steps, and I saw him, and he came up to me and said, "Dad, you like the door?" And I said, "Yeah, it's pretty neat, but why the number 98? He said, "Well, that's how many wins you have." And I'm like, you could tell me where my focus was on the game, and not on the number. So I felt a little dumb about that. But no, Dom, it was just so nice. And the reason why, my parents and my one brother couldn't make it. He was in Boston, but my other brothers and their wives and stuff came down. And I didn't know they were going to come down. My dad's 90 and he doesn't get around very well anymore. And so my brother Kent and his wife brought him down to the game. And
that's awesome.
We were warming up, and there's probably 8 minutes left in warm-ups, and I just happened to look over to the side there and go, "What the heck? My parents are here." So I went over there and visited with them a little bit and stuff. And so, yeah, it was extra special because they were there, and we had good conversation after the game and stuff.
I was going to say, did you take a minute afterwards? Because I know you got to worry about the football game, but did you take some time to soak it in after the game was done?
Yeah, I did. I had a lot of former players there that came up and congratulated
That's
me.
awesome.
The team gave me a signed helmet and a signed football. They also told me to keep the game ball, and shook a lot of hands, hugged a lot of people, and then I visited with my family for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, and I said, "Well, you guys should probably get going because you got a 90-mile drive to get home and stuff." And it really didn't dawn on me the magnitude of getting 100 wins until later in the weekend. It really, I kind of lost track of where we were at until I looked at the gridiron when it came out, and I was like, "Holy smokes, I got 96 wins, and geez, it'd be a big deal this year." And to coach that long and to get those wins, especially down here,
Yep,
where we don't have a lot of kids to draw from, makes it pretty special.
and it was a crazy game too, 68-46. I mean, that's a good North Dakota 9-man football game you had on Friday night.
Well, it was almost like a basketball game. We jumped up on them, right away. We were up 32-6 at half, or at the first quarter, and the second quarter, the things kind of started unraveling. We got to a point where the kids got pretty complacent, because we scored so quick. And the teenage mind, man, you want to be a millionaire. I think I've said this before. Figure that out. because boy, their brains are everywhere all the time. They're thinking about their girlfriend, they're thinking about the snap count, they're thinking about, what are we going to be eating, and whatever is going on in their brains, rather than just, we need to finish this game because we wanted it to be over at halftime, is what we wanted, and it surely didn't happen. Second quarter, I think it was about the 8-minute mark, stuff just started going wrong, and then kids started cramping a little bit, and we got into halftime, and we talked about the things that we're doing wrong, and our focus was off, our energy was down, all these things, and Northwood had gotten a lot of energy out of this deal.
Yeah.
A lot of juice, we like to say, a lot of juice at going into halftime, and we talked about how important the third quarter is in football, and boy, we really we laid an egg. I mean, it was not good, and we ended up with 5 starters at one point were cramping.
Oh, boy.
Four of them for most of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter. Ray was out till like the last 3 minutes of the game. He couldn't do anything. His forearms are cramping, his calves are cramping, everything was cramping on him. And it was, there was a lot of grit in those younger kids when we put them in, and some of them really, really stepped up. And we saw some great things out of a couple of these boys that we feel pretty confident.
Tell me about your quarterback and Rayshon Earl. We were visiting off air. You've coached him now for 4 years. He's been your quarterback for 3. What does that kind of confidence you have, or just maybe even unspoken that you don't need to because he's been with you for so long?
Ray is a student of anything he does. I don't care if it's in the classroom, with math, science, whatever it is. With sports, he's so gifted. God gave him some things that people wish they had as far as talent goes. And I'm going to stand by this. I think he is in the top 3 talent in this state.
Oof.
Period. Any level of football, this kid is going to start at 3A, 2A, whatever you want to call it. He's going to start. There's no way he's not going to start. And his knowledge of football has gotten better every year. He grew a lot last year, and now with Hayden as the OC and what he's doing with checking in when they're in zone or not in zone, checking down, just slowing down the count if he notices a blitz is coming, and resetting everything and things like that, calling out the blitz and so forth. So he has grown quite a bit just in these 4 games, from where he was done last year to now. And a lot of that goes to Hayden because he's really been working good with Ray.
All right, it's LaMoure week. I don't need to say anything more than that. You saw him twice last year. Are they still as loaded as we expect LaMoure to be?
Yeah. There's no doubt. This is one thing we did this year as 9-man coaches. We talked about this for years, and we finally got it set up. We have a 9-man pool now, so all the teams kind of are in the pool here, and so you can kind of watch the other teams. So let's say what West Hope wants to watch and see what we're doing down here in Hankinson, which is great. I mean, it's really good.
Yep.
So you can see the talent around the state. And when you look at what LaMoure is doing, it's power football. I absolutely love power football. If I had the kids, that's what we would do.
Yeah.
And field is in a level that is not even high school level. He would start at Valley City State, I would think, or Mayville State, or any of these small colleges right now, because he's so fast and so big and strong. And man, all he needs is just a sliver, and good Lord, he's gone. And then Preston
Arndt, yeah.
Wow.
Yep, I know.
From last year to this year, holy moly, he's an absolute beast. And I don't know if we're going to be able to block him or not, to be honest. We're going to try. We're going to do different things. But holy cow, wow, is he growing into a good football player.
I know you love your own field. What is it about playing at LaMoure? It's a special, that's, part of southeastern North Dakota fields. Where's that one rank for you down there?
Well, if I was to pick the one field that we could play on the most, I would pick Hope.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that field. It's got a little bit of a bowl there. The only thing I don't like about it is the crow's nest is about 2 feet from the out of bounds line, but what a beautiful field. And yeah, LaMoure is probably right behind them. The grass is just so nice. I mean, they do such a good job out there with that baseball diamond.
Before we go, I was watching the Monday Night Football game. We showed it the other day or yesterday on the show with Tampa playing against Houston. Your guys out there, he was looking for guys to block on a touchdown. And then later in the game, I could see him. He's signaling calls, like he's pointing he's a big deal. I already knew he's a big deal. It's like he's becoming even a bigger deal down there.
Well, I suppose he's a little bit more comfortable now with he's got a couple years of experience, and he's kind of I don't want to call him the old man, but with the injuries they have on the old line,
It's true.
He's up there and he's doing the center's job. It seems like he's hey, we got to get this guy here, and you got him, and this and that and so forth and whatnot, and it's great to see that he's taking that leadership role.
That's the one position I never get to see him play. It wasn't until he got to the Senior Bowl I saw him playing center. I'm like, my gosh, that would be scary if he's the snapping the ball.
Well, absolutely. Absolutely.
Man, oh, man. It's great to catch up. Thanks so much for doing this. Congratulations on getting 100. It was fun to see that. And good luck Friday night with LLM, okay?
Yeah, I appreciate it, Dom.
Good to see you, bud. There he goes. Jason Monilaws, Hankinson head football coach, joining us this morning. That is one of the games we'll be featuring on Friday night. Hankinson and LaMoure Litchfield-Marion, each of them unbeaten so far. They played twice last year. Monilaws doesn't need me to remind him that. 60-16, 76-13. Of course, that LLM team made it all the way to the Dakota Bowl and lost to New Rockford Cheyenne. Should be a dynamite matchup, and we'll keep our eyes fixed on that. One of our favorite guests we have on to talk high school ball, and congrats to him on getting 100. That's awfully, awfully impressive. All right, we're overdue for a break. We'll get caught up here. We'll wrap up our first hour. Chris Heisey joining us in hour two, but a really big weekend for him and his family. Hot Mike rolls on a busy Wednesday. We're back after this.